Welcome to EpiJournal. This is part 2 of the Excel dashboard series. So then, let's get into it. This is what we had before. Now let's go and add some data into it. Let's go and make a new tab here. Let's put data in there. Okay. I've got a book 1. This is just a set of data. This is house ID, person ID. Each of these are identifying sex, age, and some other stuff. Now what we're going to be using are these three, the majority. However, we'll also be widgeting based on sesquintile, ITN, LLIN, and other things like that. Make sure these are factors. Make sure you've got these three things at the very least in your data set, and then make some other ones that you want to filter on. Okay? So let's go and get this into Omnia. Okay, cool. Now we have 501. We've got, discounting this, it should be 500. So let's turn it into a table first of all. Et voila. Okay, cool. So we've got our data. Whatever data it is, you can just follow me as you go along. So then, first thing we're going to be needing to do is, let's just type, the table name is data. First thing we need to do is, before we do anything, I need you to note that if you're adding any charts into these, they need to be via a pivot table, because they're just easier to do that. Okay, so let's start doing that. Additionally, and I'll go over this later, don't just copy and paste the chart from each of the new tabs you've got open. You need to Control X, cut them essentially. So I'll show you what I mean later on. So let's do a pivot table. Data, we want to call this, let's have a look at this, I know a sex ratio. Okay, sex ratio. Cool, table name, pivot table name, sex ratio. Cool. Now then, how do we do this? So we want our sex to be the rows at the top, or columns, or whatever, and person ID, something that identifies them, right? Now this is a sum. In my case, we've got specific large numbers for the person ID. We don't want a sum of it, therefore. Okay, normally you would want to go into that value field settings, and then you want to do a count. Okay, and this is what we've got. But because it's not a ratio yet, first of all, let's go and get rid of that. Remove grand total. And then, oh, actually, not yet. Let's do this first. So it'll be cool. So what do we want to do? We want to go and right click, and we want to show values as, and then we want percent of grand total. Then we can go and delete this, remove grand total. Cool. Alright then. So we've got our percentages, our ratios between the two. Let us insert something, or just go to the analyze bit, pivot chart. Normal chart like that, that's fine. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of all of that. Nice. Female is going to be blue and male is going to be orange. You can play around with these later on. So, with this, remember we don't want to be doing a Control and C. We want to be doing a Control and X. Then stick that into, and then we do a Control V here. Because it carries across all the intrinsic links in there. So now we just make a thing here. And then, because it looks a bit rubbish at the moment, you want to do right click, format chart area, no fillet, no line it, and that looks just so much better. Let's just make them white, this white, and this white. Cool. And we can call this sex ratio. Okay. Alright, that's first one done. Now let's make another pivot table of something else. Let's figure out what I want to do here. We've got, maybe we want to do, okay, let's filter by sex, and we want to have an age distribution. Alright, let's put that in the rows. And person ID, get a count of the person ID, so you can go and see how many people there are. right? But we want to filter it on sex, so I'm going to have a male and female one. So I'm going to say this one will be male age distribution. Well, I'll just make everything lowercase. Male age dist. Okay, cool. Now we need to filter it to only include the males. Now you're going to go and see all the numbers changing. 3, 2, 1, skadoosh. Now they've all changed. Okay, so let's make a pivot chart. Let's do a line this time. Why not? Okay, cool. We've got total. We don't need that there because this is only for the males. Total. We don't need a title because we've already got the titles in there already. So just remove all stuff. Blue's male anyway, so let's just keep it at that. So Control X, current dashboard, Control V, move it over here. To be fair, this is actually a bit. Let's move this along a bit. There you go. Make it a little bit more equal. So let's just change the title. So this is male age distribution, and this one can be female age distribution. Okay, cool. Now let's just make all this my chart area, no fill, no line. Make all of these white and white. Cool. So we've got our male there. Now we want to do a female one. So go back to the data, insert, pivot table, another one, we want to do female. And it's largely the same way. Make sure you add in the table name. So female age distribution, we've got person ID as the values, we want our sex as the filter, and we want our AGY in rows. Then we want to make that a count. Then we want to just make it the female, changing name, changing all the numbers, yada yada yada. And now let's do a new line. This one. Okay, cool. Now let's get rid of all the titles. Let's get rid of all of these. Hide all field buttons. Get rid of the total because we know which it's the total. Let's change the color as being, I think it was orange. Yeah. Was it orange? Yeah, it was orange. Okay, cool. So now we do Control X. Then we go and do Control V. Then we just readjust it. Then we right click. Right click, format chart area, no fill, no line. Now we want to make this white and white. Okay, cool. Now what we're going to do here, why don't we just have a mix of these two? I mean, it's not going to be massively, I'm not going to put any stats or anything like that in it, so I'll just quickly show you a quick thing. So we'll do age distribution, okay? Put in there, make our table name, age dist. Okay, now we want our person ID as the values, we want our sex as the columns, alright? Then we want our age in the rows. We want not a sum, we want a count, because otherwise it's going to be a very high number. Okay, cool. Now then, let's make a pivot chart. Let's do a line, why not, just to keep it the same. Male is orange, female is blue, is that correct? Male is blue, female is orange. No, it is not. It is in fact the opposite. Okay, so that, now let's just do an outline. Why is that purple? I want you to be blue. Right, let's just change all of these. Instead of orange, we'll make you just blue. And that one we can make orange, just so they match. As you'll see, this thing is incorrect. So let's just delete that. Alrighty then, just hide. Okay, cool. Oh no. Control Z. Okay, so now we've got our little chart thing. That's kind of cool. It's all linked in and yada yada. So let's go and delete it. Or Control X and then Control V. Let's put that up here, so we can go and see the distribution between the male and the female. Right then, no fill, no line. Make these white. Make you white, and then we can do just age distribution. Age distribution, a comparison of the sexes. Okay, right then. So this is just a basic thing. We've got lots and lots of empty sheets, but all of these charts, they're intrinsically linked back to these little things here. Okay, so now let's make it a little bit more dynamic by adding in widgets, DGTS, and that'll be in the next video. So I'll see you there.